Amber Rudd had been admirably disciplined on Brexit. She was a passionate Remainer, who performed herself with distinction in the referendum campaign, but then supported the Prime Minister. Things have been fraught since, and the new dividing line is whether cabinet members can support the Prime Minister's official position that no deal is better than a bad deal. In committee today, Rudd wobbled, saying that no deal is unthinkable. It wasn't quite as bad as it sounded. Plenty of Brexiteers argued the same during the referendum campaign. Of course, we'll get a deal with the EU, it's in their interests as much as ours, it ought to be the easiest thing in the world to agree given that we start from a position of complete harmony. To think that we'd swap that for a system of barriers and tariffs for no reason other than political posturing. You can see how the word unthinkable could be thrown in at the end of this argument. Ordinarily, it would not matter. But in the current context, as I suspect a politician of her caliber would know, saying it's unthinkable aligns her with Philip Hammond and others who do not want to prepare for no deal out of principle. In my view, this is dangerous. However much one might admire the EU, it's impossible to say it has been very good at trade negotiations, having agreed terms with almost none of its major partners. That's because politics gets in the way of common sense. Any one member state can find a reason to veto. Oxford Economics has been keeping a track of the likely outcome. It thinks the chances of remaining, which would presumably be Ms. Rudd's first choice, are 5%, staying in the single market is 10%, in the customs union 10%. But it puts a free trade agreement at 37% and no deal at almost the same 35%. So no deal is not just thinkable, it's an outcome as likely, perhaps more so, as any other. And that's because of the political mess that arises when cabinet members are not able to keep discipline and reinforce the government's message. If the EU doesn't think Britain will walk away because Ms. Rudd and others say it's unthinkable, then it will likely offer a deal as bad as it offered to David Cameron. And it's a bad deal that stands less chance of making it through the House of Commons. If MPs refuse to approve a bad deal, then no deal it is. John McDonnell said at the weekend that Labour would not support no deal. But Labour would never be asked to support it. That is the default. No deal is what will happen in March 2019 if nothing else can be agreed. Ms. Rudd is a formidable and impressive Home Secretary. She can be forgiven a small verbal slip. She might regard no deal as being suboptimal. I have yet to meet any Tory who thinks otherwise. But unthinkable, alas, no. The bottom line is that our best chance of getting a good deal is to persuade the EU that we're serious about walking away.